80%. That's the share of all combat missions the Ukrainian Air Force now flies on a single aircraft, a jet that didn't even exist in Ukraine's inventory just 2 years ago. This is the story of how the F-16 Fighting Falcon went from a Cold War-era American jet to the backbone of a nation's air defense, flying against cruise missiles, Shahed drones, and some of Russia's most advanced fighters. Welcome back to Warnexa. If you're new here, this is where we break down the aircraft, the technology, and the strategies shaping modern air power. Let's get into it. To understand why the F-16 matters so much, you have to understand what Ukraine was working with before it arrived. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, Ukraine inherited a huge air force on paper, but decades of underinvestment left much of it outdated or grounded. By the time the full-scale invasion began, Ukraine's frontline fighters were aging MiG-29s and Su-27s, capable aircraft in their day, but built in the 1980s without modern radar, without NATO standard weapons, and without the ability to talk to Western early warning systems. Russia, meanwhile, was flying newer Su-35s and Su-30s, equipped with longer-range missiles and better sensors. Ukrainian pilots were often outgunned before they even got within visual range. The country needed something that could level that playing field. Not just a better airframe, but an entire ecosystem of weapons, data sharing, and training. That's where the F-16 came in. The push for F-16s wasn't quick. It took over a year of diplomatic pressure before Western allies committed. The Netherlands led the way, pledging 24 aircraft. Denmark followed with 19. Norway added more. Belgium promised 30, though those deliveries have since been delayed, tied to Belgium's own transition to F-35s. The first jets began arriving in Ukraine in mid-2024, and pilots, many of them former MiG-29 flyers, went through accelerated training programs in the United States and Europe to convert onto the new platform. It wasn't just about learning to fly a new aircraft, it was about learning an entirely different way of fighting. So what makes the F-16 such a game-changer for Ukraine? 3 things: weapons, sensors, and connectivity. Weapons. The F-16 gave Ukrainian pilots access to the IAM-9 Sidewinder and IAM-120 AMRAAM air-to-air missiles, along with precision-guided munitions like the GBU-39 small-diameter bomb. That's a massive upgrade from Soviet Union-era ordnance. Sensors. Modern radar and targeting pods allow Ukrainian pilots to detect threats, including incoming cruise missiles and Shahed drones, from far, far away. Connectivity. This is the part people underestimate. The F-16 brought Ukraine into Link 16, a NATO tactical data link that shares real-time targeting data between aircraft, ground controllers, and allied radar systems. That means a Ukrainian F-16 pilot can now see the same battlefield picture as a NATO AWACS aircraft, something that was simply impossible with Ukraine's old Soviet fleet. Cut to footage or graphic, F-16 intercepting a Shahed drone. In one widely circulated clip, a Ukrainian F-16 destroyed a Shahed drone using its onboard 20mm Vulcan cannon, a reminder that a huge part of this jet's job isn't glamorous dogfighting. It's grinding, repetitive interception work, night after night, protecting cities from drone and missile swarms. By mid-2026, the numbers tell the story. The F-16 now flies roughly 80% of all Ukrainian Air Force combat sorties. Ukrainian pilots have conducted hundreds of successful air engagements, many of them intercepting missiles and drones before they ever reach a populated area. And it's not just defense. Ukraine has also used its evolving fleet, F-16s, alongside a small number of French Mirage 2000s, to pressure Russian aircraft operating near the front. Russia has lost well over 400 fixed-wing aircraft and hundreds of helicopters since the start of the war, according to Ukraine's general staff. Losses that reflect not just air combat, but the accumulated pressure of a modernizing, better-connected Ukrainian air defense network. Every Su-35 or MiG-29 taken down doesn't just remove one aircraft, it chips away at Russia's ability to safely drop glide bombs close to the front line, forcing Russian pilots to launch from farther back, which reduces the accuracy and reach of those strikes. The F-16 isn't the end state, it's a bridge. Ukraine is already building towards a more diverse, more capable fleet. Sweden has committed to eventually supplying dozens of JS-39 Gripen fighters, some equipped with the long-range Meteor missile, a weapon that could push Russian bombers even further from the front. France is expanding its Mirage 2000 deliveries and has signaled intent to eventually provide Rafale fighters. These aren't quick fixes. Swedish officials have been clear that building this kind of air power takes years, not months. But the direction is clear. Ukraine is moving from a single Soviet legacy fleet towards a multi-type NATO-integrated air force. That's a transformation that will likely define Ukrainian air power for the next decade, regardless of how the war on the ground evolves. The F-16 didn't just give Ukraine a new jet, it gave Ukraine a new way to fight in the air, connected, precise, and increasingly hard for Russia to counter. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit subscribe. Warnexa covers stories like this every week, from fighter jets to the next generation of air combat. Drop a comment below. Which aircraft should we break down next? This has been Warnexa. Thanks for watching.